Members of the board. From Boardroom Productions. It's Boardroom Banter.
Get the speaker box loud, hitting that stuff till you hearing that sound.
Featuring your chairman of the board, David.
What is happening, everybody?
Chief Mayhem Officer, Derek.
Yo, what is up?
And myself, Greg, your Chief of Obscurity. The following content is explicit. Discretion is advised.
Welcome, everybody, to Boardroom Banter. My name is David, and to my left is Derek.
What is up?
Ooh, that sounds so good every time you do it. To my right is Mr. Greg.
Oh, that's me.
Oh, hope everybody had a great Christmas.
I just saw Santa Claus.
Oh, man. Every day we see Santa, but he's living in the flesh.
Kenny Claus.
Kenny Claus.
Oh, my God.
You know, even though it may have been 2 days ago, we hope everybody had a great Christmas. Hope you got the presents that you actually wanted.
Probably not.
Probably not. That's usually how it goes.
Well, presents or presents?
It depends.
Yeah.
Depends.
What did you really want?
I don't want anything for Christmas.
I buy usually what I want all year round for myself.
And my wife looks at me, what do you want for... Don't get me anything.
Maybe you could ask her to stop asking that question.
It'll never happen. She's a psychopath when it comes to Christmas.
Oh.
This woman starts Christmas shopping at March or April.
Must be a ginger
Maybe
thing.
even May.
Are you like, just stop talking about it?
I can't stand the holiday.
Yeah.
You know, I used to never, my thought process behind it was, don't buy me anything because I'm not buying you anything.
That's kind of mine, too. I did turn your Grinch sign around in your office, though, so
You're
now
a
everybody
dick.
sees it. Yeah,
You're
welcome.
a dick.
Yeah.
It's supposed to face my office.
Inward.
No, it's not.
So
now.
they
Because
can
when
stare at
people
it.
go like, oh, are you ready for Christmas? I point to that. And I say,
There you go.
I don't say anything. I just point to it.
Just point
You
to
can go right back where the fuck you came from.
Goddamn right. Goddamn right.
Sounds like David.
But regardless, even though I may be a Grinch of Christmas and I do have a black Santa hat that says "Bah Humbug" on it, and I do wear it on Christmas Day.
Can confirm.
Yep. We do at least hope that everybody had a great holiday season.
Great, safe, and happy. You know, I think in my silver years, as we'll call it,
Silverback Gorilla.
Which-
I don't know if you want to call that silver, bro.
which started at
That's pretty white.
21.
Yeah.
It definitely makes me more happy to just hang out with family than it does to receive things. I like to give gifts. It
I
makes me
don't.
happy to.
It doesn't make me happy.
It does. It makes me happy to do things for other people. But if somebody asks me, I'm like a hard person to buy for because there's not much that I want that's material.
I
you
have
know?
everything I want.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, maybe get me, I don't know. No, actually, no, because I'll motherfuck you for it. Get me a box of golf balls, but you get me the wrong golf balls.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. He'll never talk to you
I'd
again.
motherfuck
Yeah.
you the whole time because
He
it
will
wouldn't be the right
judge
ones.
you.
No.
He will judge you relentlessly.
So I'll say this, and this isn't for like, oh, poor me or anything like that, but like, so Christmas for me, for the most part, like I never liked Christmas because I was poor, but also I was in state's custody. I was
Poor
in state,
you,
like,
Derek.
no, I'm just saying,
Poor
like,
you.
in halfway houses, shit like that. Like I didn't really get a Christmas. I got a sub for Santa one year, and my
It's a
fucking
really
living
good-
room was full. It was awesome, but
Dude, it's a really good thing we don't have a GoFundMe right now.
probably
Everyone would be donating right now.
that'd be
No,
awesome.
I feel you because, there was a time in my life where we had the Meals on Wheels showing up
Yeah.
to the house.
Yeah.
And
Fuck yeah.
the donated Christmas gifts. And then, like, when you're an adult and you realize what was going on, it, like, puts a different taste on it.
You
But
know,
It does. So I've always hated it, man.
do you know what gift I would accept?
No, David, enlighten us.
I would
elf costume?
No, actually, I have a. You know,
I
one day
wanna
when
see
we're
this.
on video, I will post a picture of my elf costume from a Christmas party.
I want to see you wear it now.
I put it together 2 hours before the Christmas party.
Can you wear it now?
I wouldn't fit it anymore.
I want to see it.
But what I was going to say is the Christmas gift that I would accept from anybody, but the problem is no one would be able to get it for me, is a case of Boardroom Banter Ale.
Indeed.
Indeed.
As a matter of fact, whenever I think about the perfect snowy Christmas morning, the first thing that comes to mind is a refreshing boardroom banter ale.
Oh, God.
Find it nowhere.
Fuck, my wife's going to have to clean my underwear now.
In stores nowhere near you.
At least you're wearing underwear.
Not all the time.
There's a first time for everything.
That is the only gift I would accept. Mm-hmm. But it's only you two that would know what this gift is.
I'll get you that gift.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, buddy. You're such a nice guy.
But no. So I've hated Christmas like my whole fucking life. Like commercialized fucking fuck you Hallmark, fuck you everything, fuck you Christmas. But then I have like, I don't know, man. I got like he's my son, stepkid, but he's my son. And like being there a few years ago, like for my first Christmas with kids and like seeing their face, man, and like opening up the presents and shit. And like, I was like, fuck.
It's cool.
It is.
It is cool.
It is cool.
I still hate Christmas. No. Okay. So I'll at least
Yeah, now you sound like a fucking dick, don't you?
my daughter's 3.5. Okay. She is all about the Santa right now. Okay. My wife is all about Christmas 24/7. It doesn't matter.
She's one of Santa's helpers.
Oh God, yes. I think she's on Santa's payroll, to be honest.
She
But
probably still wears her elf costume.
she sits there, and we're talking. This is even
On a
week,
good night,
This
right?
is even a week before Thanksgiving. She's sitting there, and I'm having my coffee in the morning. Okay, I'm not a morning person. Most people should
We
know
all know
this.
this.
Okay, I am not a morning person.
Neither am I.
Hate mornings.
Don't talk to me till 10.
And she's sitting there one morning as I'm having my coffee, and she is talking my ear off because this woman wakes up at 4 o'clock in the morning every day. Okay. A little psychotic to me, but by the time I wake up, she's fully awake. She's got about a good 3 hours on me. Okay. And she was talking to me one morning about all these Christmas. I need to get this. I got to get that. What do you want for this?
Uh-huh.
I looked at my wife finally, and I says, "Sweetheart." And I pointed upstairs to where our kid's room is because she was still sleeping at the time. And I says, "I'm doing my best for her, but I don't care about anything else that you're talking about right now."
Oh,
Well,
man.
at least you have an honest line of communication.
I was, and the look on her face was like I kicked a cat because she hates our dog.
Uh-huh.
I shouldn't say she hates, but she heavily.
Oh, my girlfriend hates my dog.
She
too.
heavily dislikes our dog. But I did. I was like, you know what? I am doing my best for her because of how much she loves what is going on right now and everything about that. But I do not care about any of the stuff that you're talking to me about right now. This is not what I'm about. I hate Christmas. I don't like doing gifts. I don't like trying to think about somebody's mind space of, oh, what do they want for Christmas right now? What do they want?
$1 million.
Everybody would love $1 million.
That'd be cool.
But you know what? I don't have $1 million.
Yeah.
I'm not Elon Musk, where I could just be like, you get $1 million, you get $1 million.
Oprah did that. You don't have to be Elon Musk.
I just the holiday, it makes me happy that it's past and it's gone and I don't have to think about it for another year. Okay? That's the way I am about it. Because I am just not that kind of person. And it's not that I don't like being nice to people. Okay? Because that's what people usually say about Christmas. Mm-hmm. It's being nice to somebody else. No, I let my actions throughout the year dictate that. Okay? I don't personally want anything for Christmas, so why should someone expect that from me, if I don't expect it from somebody else?
True.
That's just the way I look at it. Maybe fucked up, whatever you want to call it, but that's just how I kind of view life and how I view Christmas. I just want to hang out, have a good time, have a good day, but trying to figure out what do they want this year?
You know what I've always looked forward to with Christmas?
Like
I'm
my
off
wife has everything under the
What's
sun.
that like?
Being off work?
I've only known that in the amount of time I've known you.
Yeah.
I just look at it as my wife has everything under the sun, so what else am I going to get her? Literally.
Yeah.
She has everything that she could ever want.
In the famous words of David, you could plug her tonight.
We're working on that still.
But
Well,
no, I get you.
here-
Christmas for me, it's bittersweet, man.
Yeah.
Like until I had kids, until like the last couple of years, like I fucking hated it, man. I was the same way. Like even today, like I'm the same way. Like I'm gonna avoid you all Christmas because hopefully you don't get me anything because I don't want to have to go to the store and get you something because that's what I feel
Yeah.
like.
Well, it's we may be coming from two different lanes on it,
but the same.
but we end up at the same spot.
No, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just I'm there for my kid because she's all about it. I will play it up as best as I can, but when it comes to the adult side of it, not the kid side of it, but the adult.
The adult side, I
It's-
can see that too because this is a stressful time, especially in our profession. This is like the slowest time of the fucking year for us.
Yeah.
My wife says I give the best gifts though. And it's because I go into a full panic and I get something that's just stupid expensive or whatever. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like, I get something that typically I would never get for somebody, but I panic
You're
so
like,
much.
what the fuck do I do? Oh, they'll like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll love it. They're going to love it.
And I won't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
That's typically how it goes for me.
Well, we weren't like rich growing up, but I was raised by my grandfolks and they did their best. They did. And we had some great Christmases too. Like, like to tell my childhood story would take way too long. Eventually we end up in the custody, me and my siblings, of our grandparents on my father's side. And they were able to provide us with kind of the typical American Christmas in the 90s kind of scenario. They're not out there spending a fortune, but they're getting us nice stuff. And, they're making good food. And there's years where families coming over and there's years where it's sparse, just like everybody else. But as a young adult and into my adulthood, I didn't really care for it too much. I would go visit family for the sake of being close to family and visiting and getting that connection. But I was the same way as Derek as far as not wanting people to buy me gifts because I didn't have the money to buy them gifts. I was, do minimal kind of loser young adult.
Well, and you also spent your money on other things.
Oh, yeah. I spent my money on, illicit substances and marijuana and alcohol and experiences.
See, I didn't spend my money on that. I hustled for that shit.
Okay.
But a lot of people wouldn't appreciate that. They're
Hustled,
fucking. Oh yeah.
How's that handy job you got?
Oh no, bro. I was fucking. I would sell a bag of fucking oregano, and you tell me how high you got the next day, and I'd be like, motherfucker, I didn't even sell you weed.
I would work for my money, the shitty, minimum wage jobs, and then I would hustle to make sure my shit was free.
I'll say this, at least Christmas, and even then, I wasn't big on Christmas. Like, it's Christmas. But my grandma's house, that was the spot. We would have...
I think everybody's grandma's house, bro.
We would have anywhere between, I'd say, 30 to 40 people at my grandma's house every Christmas. The whole living room was full of gifts for everybody that was
The
in
one
there,
time
that
a
kind of
year
thing. Yeah, it
that
was
you
the
saw
one time-
people sitting on furniture when
one
your
time
grandma
a year.
was like,
or
yeah.
on the floor. Everyone, like, people sat on the floor because there was just no place to fucking sit.
Yeah.
But even then, like, I wasn't big on Christmas, but it was cool because, like, it just doesn't exist anymore with, I don't know, maybe the present day society and stuff like that. Real quick, just a segue. Did you change the batteries?
Yep.
Oh, all right. Just making sure.
We good.
We had a power outage last week, and I was telling my wife we don't need power to record this podcast. We only
Nope.
need batteries.
Just double A's.
We do not need
Which,
power.
to her response was, it's pretty fucking weird that you would sit in our sex dungeon with two grown men in the dark.
Well, I mean, how else do you taunt the next victim?
I would
Exactly.
be going skiing, my friends.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because he does sit between us.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, the panda ain't really looking at us at that time, but at the
He
same-
would be piloting two helicopters.
Panda
know.
would not see anything.
And I told the wife, I says, hey, that's what hands are for.
The panda can see in the dark.
It's got night vision.
Yeah.
That'd be a hell of a mutter udder.
Ooh.
Ooh, triple Dutch rudder.
Jesus Christ.
Well, so I guess the point of what I'm saying is, before I had my own family, a woman that I loved and wanted to marry, a son, all that kind of stuff, Christmas didn't mean much more than checking in with family and, having that kind of experience.
Making sure you're alive once a year.
Yeah. At the time, I didn't know how bad I needed, right? I was substituting.
Oh, yeah.
I was substituting that with substances and, loose women and fast cars. That's what it was all about.
I wish I had a fast car back then.
Right?
Well, I mean, for a lot of those years, I didn't even have a car.
My fast car was a 1984 Toyota Tercel 4-wheel drive station wagon with a 5-speed manual transmission.
Went a whole whopping 80 miles an hour.
And that was back in the day when I remember I fried the transmission because I took it off road one time and was mobbing up in some hills and shit like that. But that was back in the day when you fried a transmission. You can go to the fucking wrecking yard, spend $200 on a new transmission, drop it in your fucking driveway, and put a new one in.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that don't exist anymore.
No,
not at all.
And then you find out you need another $100 worth of U-joints and shit to put
and
it the
fuck
rest of the
you,
way.
Not on
yards.
that Toyota.
Do you know?
That was great.
Do you know how many transmissions I bought from those places? Because I used to be a mechanic back in the day. How many cars were broken down at 70,000 miles would be fucking unreal. Like, this was a good 70,000 miler.
An old timer owned this one.
Oh, yeah.
I remember I told a customer of ours about a couple weeks back, and I says, a new tranny in this particular style of vehicle probably set you back about $12,000.
Yep.
And they looked at me like they didn't believe me. I said, no, that's about what the going rate is now. For the tranny and labor, it's about $12,000.
People don't rebuild transmissions anymore.
No,
like there's no junkyard transmissions like you were saying.
But the thing is, you cannot rebuild the new style of transmission.
No, they're sealed.
Yeah.
I mean, even a sealed one, you can crack into there, but it's not worth it. By the time you're spending all the money for pieces here, pieces there, a control module, a fucking computer for it, an ECU,
it's at the end of the day, just get me a new one from the factory and call it a day. But you're going to spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one really recognizes that today.
Well,
they think they can just go and get one for... I can go get a new transmission for like $1,000.
Well, look at the generation we were brought up in. That's what it was, man.
That's the problem. Is the generation we're in now.
Like here, fuck, if you want $1 million business, start a wrecking yard with some cars here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do a fucking pick and pull or some sort of shit where we're at here.
Lines.
I don't know. The one I had back home was shit before I moved out here. It really turned to shit. Like, the guys were telling me that parts were out there that obviously wouldn't fit the vehicle I was working on when I got out to them. I would tell them, hey, are you sure this luggage rail from this vehicle is going to fit mine? Yeah, we're sure. We looked. It's good. Go out and pick it. Well, I go out and pick it and bring it in. Or I go out to it and see it and go, no, that's not going to work. And I'd just leave. Like, it was just terrible. But,
they're trying to make that dollar.
Well, sure, but, don't do it being a liar.
Usually they didn't speak fluent English.
Well, I mean, the wrecking yards in my area were pretty good.
No, my friend. I got this part for you. It will work great on your vehicle. I promise you that right now. I make a great deal on it for you right here, right now. You go over there, you grab it, you bring it back. I make a great deal for you.
There were 2 part yards where I was that you could really
I guarantee you, everybody that just heard that right now just had flashbacks because they know they fucking heard someone talking like that.
Yeah. We had like 4 total in the area. There were 2 of them you could really depend on because they would tell you, I have that or I don't have that. The other ones were like, well, go out there and look around for it. And if you find it, bring it up here and pay for it.
That sounds very Russian to me.
Yeah, well.
That's more of along the lines of, I got this part for you. You go out there, you bring it back right now. I take shot vodka with you. And you take it and pay me.
We make a deal.
We make deal. You pay me $150.
Oh, maybe less.
Yeah.
It depends what kind of vodka.
In my country, it's about 5,000 rubles.
So the 2 you could depend on were locally owned and operated. One of them was a mostly Volkswagen parts place.
Mein Führer, the Volkswagen dealer for
Yeah.
you. I got this part over here. It won't gas you when you take it out, but I promise you it will work in your vehicle.
Do you have a shifter knob for a 1967 Super B? Vive ask the questions here.
VW stands for virtually worthless.
Yeah, so
Depending on the year.
yeah. So, anyways, you could trust those guys, and you could trust the other local one. And those guys had like a lot of old Chevy, Ford, domestic brand parts.
Yeah,
and
fuck those
stuff.
guys. Well, and that's the thing. They'd be like, hey, this don't got a 10 mil in it, but you may
Yeah.
make it work with, I don't know, an 11 mil,
Yeah. So,
12
You got
mil.
a fucking Sawzall, right?
but the two corporate,
Yep.
the two like national chain ones, they were shit.
Okay.
Yeah. They were the ones that would lie to you and say it would fit, and you go out to it and it's obviously twice the size of the car that you're working
Motherfucker, this
on.
ain't even the car I was
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about in the office right now.
Yeah,
like, what
it's
is up?
row F. It's between row F and Z.
You give me a fucking liquid torch, a fucking welder,
Yeah.
and a die grinder, and I can cause some fucking damage on a car.
Speaking of cars, okay, I don't know if this is true. A buddy of mine messaged me this, and I trust him because he's usually pretty accurate in the shit that he sends me. But he said that Honda and Nissan are merging.
Interesting.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
That right?
Aren't they from two different fucking countries?
Nissan?
No, they're both Japanese, but
Ananda?
Okay, the only reason I
that's
like
not like,
Nissan so
right?
much was after the Gran Turismo movie that came out. That was a fucking phenomenal movie, by the way. If you haven't seen the new Gran Turismo, go fucking watch it.
okay.
Okay.
Like the new Gran Turismo that was out like a couple years ago.
Speaking of that, have you guys watched the Godzilla -1?
No.
No.
But go watch Gran Turismo.
Okay.
He won't until you watch Godzilla.
Okay,
Minus
I've
One.
started watching it, but I haven't finished it yet.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It was good.
But
It was, yeah.
it's pretty fucking good.
I don't like watching subtitles, but
I
it was
know,
okay.
I know. But it's kind of odd. I don't know. Like, are they going to mix the brand? Are they going to keep it separate? Like, are you going to still have a Honda Civic, or is it going to become some odd, like Nissan Honda Civic Altima hybrid?
Could you imagine
Bastard.
a fucking SI GTR?
Ooh, wouldn't that be something?
I don't know if I want to.
What if they bring the Prelude back, but put a fucking
I
GTR engine inside
loved
of it?
the Prelude. The
I
Prelude
loved-
was badass.
Loved the Prelude.
Yeah.
I don't care what generation
Bro.
it was. It was it just
Yeah.
sucked that it was front wheel drive only.
That's
Yeah.
big enough to put. Dude, you could put a fucking. You could. Yeah, bro.
Could you
You
imagine?
could put a Skyline engine or a GTR engine inside of that fucking Prelude.
It'd be cool.
Could you?
and give it all-wheel
I'd-
drive.
I'd be
Are
curious.
you fucking kidding me?
I'd be curious if they would do something really cool. If this is true and they're really, if the brand is merging, it would be kind of cool if they do some weird fucking amalgamation between the two and marry something together and create.
That would really be something though, because for two big companies like that, especially that are like almost recession proof, like Honda, because I worked for Honda for about 12 years.
But you got to realize Nissan, though, here in the States at least,
Nissan kind of sucks.
Nissan sucks in the States.
So I can see maybe Honda swooping them up
Yeah.
and maybe branding it under Honda. But I don't know if I could see a merger between the two just because how big Honda is and like, I don't know.
It would be interesting if it is real. Okay.
Bro, but if they put those CVT transmissions in
Oh,
their fucking
God.
Hondas, you can go
Oh,
fuck
God.
yourself.
Well, so could
I'm
you
done.
imagine like an Integra motor in like a Maxima
No.
They don't even make the Maxima anymore.
or even an Ultima?
They make
or
the
something
Ultima.
like that.
The Ultima is about they got rid of the Maxima, and the Maxima was an awesome ride.
But
Yeah.
the Ultima's a way too big of a car to have that kind of pull. Like the Ultima's, it's a big car now.
Well, yeah, but it can go in a straight line. If it's pulling heavy and it's a long car, it's going to go in a straight line easier.
Hey, gentlemen,
Yeah.
you want to know something?
What?
Usually, I never have to piss during a pod.
What?
Oh man.
It's because David's bladder has finally found its maximum capacity.
You found it.
In all sincerity, it's because I didn't drain the bladder before this pod.
I thought you did.
Usually I do.
I did. You did.
Usually
you
I do.
Did not.
I didn't. And usually I'm pretty good at never having to piss during a pod.
So for the next 7 minutes, David's going to be watering the garden.
And that's about how it goes because I am I'm a very long pisser.
Oh boy. Well,
So-
I'm muting you now.
You know what? Just catch me up on your Honda and Nissan talk real quick when I
Sure.
come back.
Okay. I've heard guys talk about the brands, and I've heard you talk about Honda and how it wasn't like extremely lucrative to sell new Hondas.
Yeah.
But you could get a lot of units out in a month.
A lot of units, man.
And Honda is like, the MSRP of those is definitely dramatically lower than its immediately competing brands.
But I beg to differ, because back when I started this business in 2008, 2007, Honda was pretty expensive to get a Civic, man, compared to anything else. And you would have to tell people why Hondas were so much more money, is because they didn't do fleet sales, right? Like when you actually went to a Hertz or an Avis or an Enterprise, they paid sticker price for that car to get it there.
Oh wow!
We didn't do fleet sales as Honda. Toyota did,
yeah,
but Honda never really did. Honda's now moved to that. But
I was going to ask if you thought that was a mistake or a stroke of genius.
I think it was a stroke of genius at first, because when you went in for a trade-in value, the market wasn't oversaturated with these cars, so there wasn't tens of thousands of these cars coming into the market at a certain mileage mark.
Yeah, so you had to pay more to get it, but you would also typically get more out of it when you were going to trade it in.
Exactly.
Held its value better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Supply and demand, it all goes down to that.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, selling Hondas, I would sell, 25, 30 units a month. And you get paid a lot differently. You get paid more from Honda and more from different things, but I don't know, Honda, it was always Honda and Toyota, and when I kind of worked at Honda, it was like we used to look down on the Nissan dealership, a couple blocks away.
I think a lot of brands do. If you follow certain kinds of groups in social media for the automotive industry, I think those Nissan guys get picked on a whole lot.
The only time I thought Nissan kind of would have figured their shit out, or when it would have been cool, is when the Titan adapted the Cummins. And Nissan had the Cummins technology for a while, but they fucked that up too, man. I saw so many with problems.
Well, the Titans were garbage.
Yeah, and I was an ex-mechanic back then, and then with this, diesel engine in the Titan that basically would rattle itself apart with a gas motor, you put a diesel motor into that, and it was completely fucking
frame
horrible.
Twisting and that kind of stuff. Wow, that wasn't the 7 minutes I expected. He must have pushed.
But that's the only thing when I saw Nissan really had anything going for them, is when they bought that Cummins technology, and the Cummins was going into them, but that fucking took a dump too.
Well, the Cummins is going to do well no matter what it's in.
It didn't in Nissan.
Well, unless it's Nissan. So right now it says write error, and it's still counting. So last time it all recorded.
Yep.
So as soon as it doesn't say write error, I'll unmute you.
It's okay, guys.
I'll go take a pee and left there.
There we go.
Hey, look at that. I'm back up and running. Derek's taking off here on us.
Yeah.
It's kind of subpar. I mean, we're only, 10 minutes into this?
28. To be fair.
My God, 28
About
minutes.
3 times that amount.
God, such a baby bladder.
Well, it's the holidays. We've been having some beverages.
But he pissed before we even started. That's the sad part.
Well,
but it is what it is.
Derek likes to rid his body of the waste.
Man, oh man. Just going to say, I don't normally do that on a pod, but I didn't.
What do you know? David is human.
I didn't pregame.
Yeah.
I guess is what I'm getting at.
Well, and you hydrate like no other.
I do. It's only to offset the amount of beer that I drink after I work.
flushing the old liver and kidneys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I get it all cleaned out. So when I come home, it's the fair trade.
You are a very
what it is.
vascular and renally healthy man.
I like to tell Jesus Christ, how fast that man is at taking a leak.
When it's that short and wide, it just all comes out in one shot.
Jesus Christ. I don't know how someone does it that fast.
Well, it's not like I've ever seen Derek's wiener, but I have heard it's like a can
But it's
of
creepy.
bumblebee tuna.
You gotta, it's creepy.
You know what you do?
What?
You
It's
don't
creepy.
do drugs.
Oh, yeah.
No.
You don't do a massive amount of drugs when you're younger because this is what you turn into.
Oh.
You fucking have a bladder of an 87-year-old man.
Oh. Well, with prostate issues, so you only can get a little bit at a time, and
Oh, man. Sometimes it feels like a river, and I go in there, and it's fucking a couple little...
Speaking of creepy.
Oh, creepy. Like
I know, like
creep.
We're post Christmas, so here's why I'm talking of this
like P. Diddy creepy?
Is this like old Saint Nick that you caught in your house smelling your panties, but it wasn't Christmas?
Well, I don't have panties, but I got
I mean, not you, but just
I got
You caught Santa Claus giving your mom the Yule log?
yes. We're closer to Halloween.
the fruitcake.
This is why I bring up creepy, because we're closer to Halloween than we are Christmas anymore.
Officially, yes.
Officially,
Yes.
we are closer to Halloween than we are Christmas, which is kind of nice. It's
Pretty far away.
Exactly.
I am
exactly.
a Halloween and Thanksgiving kind of guy.
I found a story on the old Reddit because how
So
much
trustworthy
how
is
much
Reddit.
how much we love Reddit.
Oh, Reddit, how I love you. Let me count
Exactly.
the ways.
I mean, it never ceases to fail. Actually,
Plus, you're not safe for work category.
I will say,
On
actually,
point.
Reddit does fail from time to time. But who's really counting?
Yeah.
So I found a story on the old Reddits, and it was called "Creepy Experiences I've Had," and it is labeled under non-fiction.
Are we about to have a story read by David?
It's possible.
That lasted way longer than it should have.
Don't judge me.
Felt like I should have had my dong out saying dropping loads on your fucking face.
Oh, Mr. Hardwick.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm the plumber. So this is actually kind of a bit of a story, to be honest. When I found this, and I don't know how our listeners are going to think, but let us know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, follow, whatever it is that you're using to actually listen to us. Ooh, emphasis on the S. Like a fucking snake.
Indeed.
Wow.
Silence.
That sounded fucking very mean.
That was aggressive.
Why are you like that?
I have those moments from time to time. Believe it or not, this was actually posted 23 hours ago. So this person has about the same mindset as us, is to not post this pre-Christmas.
Oh, you should.
They posted this post-Christmas. It's very nice of them.
You should nudge them to and subscribe.
You should just drop our boardroom banter
Yeah.
podcast.
Let them know.
in the comments.
Yeah.
Let them know about
Yeah.
boardroom
Hey,
banter.
You're about to be YouTube famous.
Oh, I like that.
Spotify famous.
Maybe I will.
Maybe even Rumble famous.
I don't know if I'm that nice, but maybe I'm still in the Christmas spirit. I fucking hate Christmas, but there's maybe it'll make my heart grow an extra.
3 times
Just
the
give 'em one.
normal size.
Yes.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
I wish that's what my wiener did.
Whoa. Heyo.
It got touched the right way.
Oh,
Finally, the gym coach.
Uncle
bent over.
Touchy.
So let's see here. This is from username, and this is how you know it's probably going to be something creepy. Some lost Canadian.
Whoa. Yeah. That that's definitely creepy. If a Canadian is reaching out as a lost soul, there's some shit going down.
Exactly. Like, this could be some fucked up shit for everybody.
I mean, he could live by the border. I've watched some documentaries where you just act like a bear and you could get through their border system. That's all I'm saying.
A black bear, brown bear,
I
grizzly
identify
bear.
I mean,
as
either.
a bear.
Oh, okay.
Dude,
All right.
I watched this guy smuggle fucking pounds of weed through Canada to America, like dressing like a bear and just going over their fucking border.
That sounds
in the
like
wild.
pounds of meth.
No, it was weed. It was weed. There's a documentary. You guys should watch it. I forgot what it's called.
No, I definitely want to see that.
Oh, it's fucking amazing.
Excuse
boy.
me, bear fucker.
Yeah.
Do you need assistance?
I'll find out who it is by the end of the story.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So let's get into this by Some Lost Canadian under our stories. During my childhood, I lived in 2 different rural communities. Both were very isolated. One was in the boreal forest, the other along the northern grain belt, which is the northernmost stretch of prairie, where both the boreal forest starts. I've been thinking of weird things I've experienced and how they no longer happen now that I live in the city, so I thought I'd share a couple. It's fucking 2 story. What? You gonna share a couple stories, bro? Come on. Fucking Canadians. Speak. You had something on your mind.
No, I was just thinking, oh yeah, sure. Let me take this one space for 2.
Exactly. That's what I'm at. One of my favorite hobbies is aurora chasing. Both of my hometowns were in good areas to see them often. Every other night, the sky would be lit up with the dancing green, teal, and sometimes red streaks. One winter,
My underwear.
the lights. Yeah, it's when you eat Chipotle.
Chipotle away.
One winter, the lights were particularly good, and it was a weekend, so I was outside. My parents were fine with it as long as I took the dog with me. Not only does she love the snow, but she is a good guard dog.
Likes peanut butter.
Right? That's what I was getting at, actually.
Because it's your dog.
I was sitting outside watching the lights for a few hours. I was out there from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. I remember it being quite cold, so I didn't have to play with my dog to warm up a bit.
Is that a euphemism?
Play with her dog?
Right? What the fuck is
Warm
this?
up?
What is up with this Canadian?
Why do you always find this? What is your search history like?
I don't want to know.
No.
You'd be surprised.
Probably not with you.
At some point in the negative 25 degrees Celsius weather, it hits me and I decide it's time to go back inside. I make the mistake of whistling at night for my dog to follow me in. I could have just told her to follow me, but I whistled. For those who don't know, many cultures have superstitions about whistling at night. It invites unwanted attention from things you don't want to mess with. After I whistle for my dog, I hear a swift motion that wasn't my dog. It was too heavy to be her. Potentially a moose? I probably spooked the moose. Whatever it was huge and it moved quickly.
That's what she said.
It was a 2-beat gait. Either something trotting quickly or something on 2 legs running. My dog got a little freaked, probably because I was freaked out, and she ran inside. Normally, she'd protest and tried to convince me that she would stay outside in the cold. This time, she enthusiastically came inside. Really? That's the story on that one. What a guy.
Their dog got scared,
So
he
he
went inside.
That's
yeah,
it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, that was it?
This is Canada.
Oh, it could have been a Sasquatch.
So they're...
I don't know. I mean,
A 2-beat gait, either single legs or double legs at the same time.
But
What the fuck's wrong with you? You just wrote a whole story because your dog went in before you did?
yeah.
Well,
that's what I'm getting from that one.
They were trying to harvest that maple syrup, and
I mean, the dog smelled the peanut butter open on the fucking counter.
yeah, and was like, "It's Chow Town. Let's do this."
It kind of bums me out actually a little bit there.
That was such a good story, and you had so much potential, and then
you really did.
You fucking fumbled.
No,
because his dog went inside. With
whoever
I want to see what's out there. No, I didn't say
Yeah.
he fumbled. I said the person in the story fumbled. Like, that was the buildup we all needed. That was like fucking
with minimal release.
That was like watching what you did last summer for the very first
pretty
time.
much.
Yeah. And you're like,
I know what you did last summer.
Oh, was that? We knew it all along.
Oh, man.
You told us in the beginning.
I'll say this: his next story is a little bit longer, so let's just let's hope.
And what was this Reddit user's name?
His username was some lost Canadian. He's fucking lost on that first story. He's lost his shit.
Well, I was lost hearing that story.
Do you know what I think he did?
And it wasn't because of your reading skills.
I think he took way too many hallucinogens.
That could have happened.
His dog went in and he was like, "Whoa, man!"
Yeah,
Maybe the Canadian government stepped in and censored
fuck
this
happened,
material.
bro?
Maybe they were like, "Hey, buddy, you can't talk about that guy.
I'm not your guy, friend.
I'm not your friend, guy." Oh boy!
So this gentleman here, has a second part to this whole post. So
How many
let's
followers does he have?
I didn't look at that. Let's.
I don't think it shows you on Reddit.
No,
you have
it really
to go to
doesn't.
their profile.
It really doesn't.
You have to
But-
check their karma.
For posting this so close post Christmas, maybe he didn't think through this. I don't know. We'll see on his second story, because his second story goes, "My next story can't be explained by a moose."
Oh boy, I don't know if I want to hear a story that can't be explained by a moose, David.
But he says in this, "I was somewhere between 6 and 8 when this happened.
Inches or years?
This was at our place up north.
Did it go up his butt?
But from where we live, everything is up north."
Oh, up his butt. It went there. An antler fucking creeped up his butt.
I wanted the authentic camping experience
You did.
with my dad. So he decided he'd take me and my brothers and I to the woods right behind our place. The house was still in sight. We were just next to the stream by the house. Night came. My two brothers, my dad, and I were in the tent. I remember waking up in the middle of the night because I heard something walking nearby. My dad reassured me that it was just a deer. Elk, maybe a whitetail. They were all common visitors and generally left us alone if we did the same. However, this wasn't one of those. Whatever the creature was, it stopped moving when it got closer to our tent. All four of us heard it let out this haunting howl that soon turned into a scream, almost like a bobcat sort of scream. It was deafening, and I could feel the rattle in my bones. My dad at this point was like, "What the fuck?" So we waited a moment. He listened until he heard it walk away. He opened the tent and made my brothers and I run back to the house. My mom heard the sound too, so she knew we'd be coming back in, so she unlocked the doors. None of us to this day know what that creature was. I just wanted to share the experiences. I sort of miss experiencing unnerving things like this in the woods. I don't hear unexplainable sounds anymore. I don't fear like I once did. I feel overly secure, and I don't like it.
That was the lady your dad had fucking chained up.
Well,
somewhere in the woods.
that was a better story.
It was a better story, that's
Yeah.
for sure. But at the same time, I don't feel unnerved in the. So you were baptized, is what you're saying. That baptizes you, being next to your house to a creek, apparently close enough that you were able to run to your house as like an 8-year-old. You know, I mean, there's only so much stamina you have to be able to run to your house as an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
True.
What a guy!
Well,
What
you
a
know,
guy!
This may be post Christmas, but I did get bored one night and ask a certain AI program to rewrite a classic Christmas tale in the theme of boardroom banter, and it seems that the AI future in Skynet already knows we exist and is already moving to eliminate us.
Oh, fuck you. I'll get Elon Musk on board.
It was able to pull not only our personalities from the queue, but also the infamous boardroom banter.
I didn't know you wanted to do this right now. But
Yeah.
I'm down with this. Let's go with
So I asked AI what a night before Christmas would be like for the boardroom in boardroom banter. And it came out with the following: a twisted night before Christmas. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and in David's domain, not a creature was stirring except Greg with champagne. Derek was sprawled on the couch with a grin, still laughing from pranks that he'd pulled on his kin. The stockings were hung by the panda with flair, though one was now missing. It had vanished somewhere. David in slippers and Greg in his cap had settled themselves for a long winter's nap. When out from the fridge had arose such a clatter, David sprung up.
Derek. What the fuck is this matter?
Away to the kitchen they flew in a dash. Greg tripped on a stool and went down in a crash. The fridge door was open. Its shelves were laid bare. Not a can remained.
Thought I smelled fuckery in the air.
For the favorite brew, boardroom banter ale had vanished that night like a ghost in a tale.
This is a tragic and true holiday plight. Who drank the last can?
Derek cried in the night. Greg shrugged. Not me, but I know the score. I bet Santa's sleigh has a stash in his store. With a plan in their heads and mischief in mind, they set off for the roof, leaving caution behind. Up the ladder they climbed under snowy ice veil, determined to intercept St. Nick without fail. When what their wondering eyes should appear but a sleigh full of brews and a team of reindeer, with Santa himself holding mugs full of cheer, he grinned at the trio and slurred, "Hey, boys, it's here." They shared laughs and stories, and mugs they refilled. Boardroom banter ale flowed, their wish was fulfilled. As Santa took flight, he exclaimed in the light, "Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
Brought to you by Boardroom Banter Ale. Find it nowhere.
Absolutely nowhere.
Nowhere.
None of you have been good enough for Santa to bring you boardroom banter.
But
ale.
hey,
You'll never taste it.
you got a few months. You know, you got about, 11 months and 28 days to try and figure out how to get on that list.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yep.
Repent, and thou shalt be saved.
Yeah, something like that. You know.
Well, I know.
What do you all have going on for your New Year? Do you have New Year resolutions? Either of you?
No.
No?
Yeah, it's been actually kind of hard this year to discover a resolution over just like surviving in current economical times.
Oh.
Why am I going to let myself down, let alone let everybody else down around me?
See,
I've
this
never
is
said,
this is where you keep it simple. I have my New Year's resolution already.
What is
Yeah.
it? Drink more beer.
No, because I'll fail at that.
Yeah, me too.
It is to not masturbate on New Year's Day. Boom, right there. There's my resolution.
No nut New Year's Day.
No nut New Year's Day.
Wow, that's
See?
a whole lot
That's a
better
good one.
than no
See?
nut November.
Dude, and it's the easiest one to keep right then
Yeah.
and there. Boom, one day, got that.
I don't
in the
know.
bag.
Sure.
It's in the pocket.
Are you
We're
sure?
good.
What happens
Yeah.
if you mess that up? Is the rest just fucked?
Failure.
Then if you fuck
I'm
that,
a failure.
Yeah, if you fuck that one up, then you at least know the rest of the year is gonna go down.
Yeah, bro. You might need a 12 or 13 step program.
What if you have the mentality in your head that, like, unless you nut, you don't leave the house? Like, you know, fucking, like, you know what I mean?
That sounds like a Japanese game show.
Yeah.
It actually does.
Oh boy.
And then you get hit in the nuts really hard when you fail
Bro,
the
you
show.
gotta
no
you gotta
kidding.
set yourself up right for the day. Like, if you're
Well,
not nutting in the shower before
there
you
you
go to
go.
work, like, you gotta be
what
a
I mean.
fucking stallion.
Like,
Is that
it's-
like-
to me that's a fairly easy accomplishment for New Year's? Just saying no nut New Year's Day.
that messes up my whole routine.
Is that like the movie Something About Mary, where he's told like you got to unload the gun before you leave the house on
Kinda,
your day?
kinda, bro. But you gotta be ready for fucking when you go in and you're going to close some shit. Like, you can't have the semen build up. You can't have that fucking testosterone back behind. You got to release that shit in the morning so you're not thinking with that shit.
We'll do it the night before on New Year's Eve. Boom. Set yourself up for the right way on New Year's Day.
With how much bad food I eat, it builds up so fast.
Well, if you do it right at 12, like 59 and 30 seconds,
Exactly,
you
that's
may
all I
be
need
able
is-
to nut in 2 years at the same time.
Guinness might have a new world record for me not whacking
It would
off.
have to be at like 11:59 and 45 seconds.
Speak for yourself.
Just saying.
Well, for the average, probably.
All I'm saying is Guinness is going to have a new record.
The point of what I'm saying is you have a time to you have an opportunity to transcend time,
You got to get in the fucking zone, bro.
right? The auto zone.
The fucking get the zone, auto zone.
Oh boy. Well, you know, it was a great Christmas and I'm in between the two of you. I enjoy the family time of Christmas. We all enjoy doing for our children and our spouses and our family members to an extent.
I don't, because I look at my kid and I'm like, one day you're going to learn the truth.
Yeah, well, there's that. But also, David, I refuse to believe you don't enjoy seeing the smile on her face when she sees presents
I
under the tree
fucking
in the
hate
morning.
it. I absolutely despise it.
You're a liar.
I want to slap it off her face and say, little bitch, this doesn't exist.
No.
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 You're going
No?
to put your elf costume on.
Yeah.
Fucking.
All right, fine.
Until the day she tells you Santa exists.
You're going to
that's what
hop around in
gonna
your
do.
elf costume.
Yeah.
I tried.
You know, you like it, and it's okay if you don't want to admit it. Derek feels the same way.
I
do feel the same way.
never want to admit it.
I don't
never
blame
want to
you.
admit it.
I like sitting on the couch with my fucking black Santa hat on.
What if you
Yeah.
get all day with your PSP?
Dude, PSP hasn't been around
Not
for like
PSP. What the fuck is
10
your
years.
handheld
The
device?
Portal?
10 years. It's
Your
called the fucking Portal, bro.
Okay, your
What if-
portal.
So the
Okay, your
PlayStation Portal.
Which Sony
So the
totally,
PSP.
totally 100% made for dads.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
made 100% for a dad gamer.
So,
because,
David-
oh, my kid, I can't take the TV because I have my kid here. Oh, I know. I'll just jump on my Portal because I can remote play my PlayStation 5 without taking over the TV so she can sit there and watch her movie Trolls for the fucking 100th time.
The fucking portal to no poon.
So the PlayStation Portal,
Yes.
the PSP.
It's the portal to dad happiness. That is why they call it the portal. It is the portal to dad happiness.
It's the portal to No Nut November.
hey, I got 11 months for No Nut November, so we're
Yeah.
good, bruh.
You got to train so you
Yeah,
can make
you
it
gotta
all the way
train.
through the month.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, David, even after Christmas, where can you find us?
You know, you can find us on YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, all those great platforms. I don't know. We may one day venture into horizons that we've never seen.
We'll explore them together.
We
like a
will
team,
go on this journey.
Possibly one day. You never know.
like a college experience.
Oh God, a frat house or
No.
a sorority house?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to predict how you identify in that moment.
I mean, I remember one time at a sorority house down in San Diego State University, which has some of the best fucking parties you'd ever see. They have one that's called the lingerie party. So everybody's in skimpies.
David was
Sure.
fucking Captain
Yeah.
Underpants.
And this chick, I swear to God,
With the red cape and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And the guacamole obsession.
this particular person that night, you had to be really hard of just averting your eyes because They had some little skimpy ass skirt, a thong on, and they were face down, ass up on the sidewalk.
Oh God.
Because they were that shit house. Oh,
Yeah.
they were that shit house.
Oh boy.
Hey, P. Diddy would know exactly what to do with that.
Yeah, spray
And-
some GHB baby oil on
Yeah,
it.
at least we were nice, and we gently put her onto a stretcher, covered her up, and put her at the hospital so she
Yeah.
could sober up and have an IV line. And
That was
and
before
sober-
the society got so grapey.
But you
Yeah,
still remember
exactly.
that ass, don't you?
yeah, I actually.
it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to unsee that
Imprint
kind
it.
of
Well,
thing.
I mean, you think about all the calls I've ever been on in my career in 9 years. That's one of those calls that still sits in, like, it's etched in my head. There's some calls.
Did she shart through her thong?
No. She didn't even pee.
Fucking ninja
herself,
sword.
which
Thank
I
goodness.
found very surprising because usually most people when they get that shit house, they usually piss themselves.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nah, her bladder was strong.
She'd been doing her
The
kegels.
force is strong with this one.
I'll give her total credit. Credit where credit's due.
Yeah. Well, David, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, and Rumble. When can you find us?
Oh gosh, when?
Yeah.
Jesus.
How about a time?
God, I mean, anytime you want to like turn us on and listen to us, but if you want to listen to us the moment, like in the moment, that would be every Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Excellent.
Yes.
Stay tuned, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Have a great one. We love you.